Hi everyone, my name is Natalie and this is my Close Up experience. So for those of you who don't know, Close Up is a program where a bunch of schools from all over the nation come to DC for a week to learn about how the government works. So the Close Up program is separate from your high school, which is something I really want to emphasize. So my class actually got to go to New York after the Close Up program, which was really fun. But I decided to add this voiceover because it's been a while since Close Up, and I thought it would be nice just to add some of my thoughts after the experience, just because I feel like those needed some explaining, but you'll see what I mean.
Hello, I'm Sophia.
I'm Natalie.
Welcome to our DC, New York close-up trip vlog.
I just took 2 melatonin, so I'm gonna try to sleep. We just got off the red eye. Right now it's 7:40 in DC. Now we have a full day ahead of us. Whoa, looks cool. We're gonna show you guys how big this plane is compared to Sophia. Hi everyone. So we just finished our tour at the cathedral and I'm really excited because I got my mom this postcard. I got this too.
And then we also donated $2 for the bricks to help rebuild the cathedral after the 2011 earthquake.
So we made it to the hotel and right now we're getting ready to go to dinner
And then to see 1,000 Splendid Suns.
So we just got back.
It was so good.
So basically it's about these 2 women who lived in Afghanistan.
Tomorrow we have a free day and we're planning on going to Georgetown. Alright, see you tomorrow.
Good night.
Difficulty, however, was always a challenge to him. And he wanted to.
Sophia!
He liked to. She was shy and amenable and dependable, and he was a god in her eyes.
Beside the Great Dane, astray in the south, obsessed by your mind.
Oh my god, it's really windy. It's probably just so much wind noise.
Okay, so this is day 1 of the actual Close Up program with all of the other Southern high schools, and we started it by going to the Jefferson Memorials.
Alright, hi everyone, so we're at breakfast right now. Last night we met our Southern roommates. They're from Georgia and they're so nice.
They're really
nice. We'll try and get them in the video later.
And then we had a debate. It was like a mock debate, I guess.
And we also met our workshop. So basically at Close Up we're split into small groups and there we can like discuss issues in greater detail. And that was interesting just to see like where people were from, but we haven't really like delved into any deep issues. Yeah, we're going to the Jefferson Memorial and the FDR.
You did it!
So, as we explored the memorial, the Close Up leaders reminded us of the idea of liberty and described how Jefferson created and upheld it. The one thing is, the Close Up leaders didn't really talk about how Jefferson owned plantation, owned slaves. So basically he was preaching this idea of liberty while violating others. I wish they would have talked about it, but thankfully Sophia and I learned about that at the African American Museum of History and Culture the day before. Next, we visited the FDR Memorial and learned about how he valued justice through the New Deal, which is pretty cool. Then finally, we went to the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial on MLK Day, which was fitting to say the least. This was my favorite memorial by far, and I'm glad we were able to experience it on such a special day. Next, Close Up gave us a bit of free time to explore the Smithsonian.
What are we doing, you guys?
Going ice skating.
Okay, she's doing it. She's doing it!
So Sophia, Leon, and I, along with some other Redoubt students, decided to go ice skating since we had already looked at some of the Smithsonian's the day before. Ice skating was super fun. It was actually Sophia's first time. She fell a few times, but she did pretty good in my opinion.
So we're going ice skating at the Smithsonian right now. I didn't know you were gonna see.
We're really good.
We're getting better here. It's her first time skating.
There's a lot of people. There's a lot of new people.
I'm doing it. You're doing it. You got that, Leah?
Hi everyone, we're going to
workshop.
workshop. So basically workshops are like small groups within the Close-Up program. So there's about 200 kids here and our workshop has
Like probably
15.
16 people.
There's 2 other people from our school, but besides that everyone is from Georgia, Florida, or Texas. Alright, good morning. So today's Tuesday and Miss Sussman's taking us off of Close-Up.
To the FBI.
Yeah, to the FBI. It's early in the morning.
Okay, so day 2. This is where things kind of took a turn for me, but we started off the day nicely by going to the FBI tour, which I wasn't allowed to film in, but it was super cool. Then we rejoined with the Close-Up program and visited the World War II Memorial along with the Lincoln, Vietnam, and Korean memorials. They're all super interesting, and in the program we discussed how we memorialize and remember war. I especially like the Korean memorial. It was a beautiful day, cold, but incredibly picturesque, and this is the time when we had a chance to actually talk to some of the kids on Close-Up. And coincidentally, this is when I had my first encounter of racism on the trip, which actually kind of threw off the rest of the experience for me. So here's my reaction right after it happens.
Some kid just we were asking this woman if she wanted a picture, but we didn't realize, I don't think she spoke a lot of English, and she happened to be Asian, and one of the kids on the trip, not from our school, was like ching chong. And then earlier today some other kid told me that my liver is made for dogs because I'm Chinese. So it's been kind of a hard day for me, and I'm not super excited about tonight because I'm already like worn down a little bit. I'm hoping.
We're so excited too.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll get better. A lot of kids have been saying that they're hearing the N-word a lot too, which like we all kind of expected, but like didn't actually think would happen in a way. Like it was a thought that crossed my mind, but I just wanted to be optimistic and think that these sort of things wouldn't happen, but they are.
So I explained what happened in the video, but basically we were talking to some kids from Florida, joking around, and then one of them said I have a liver for dogs, because he knew I was Chinese. Most of them did. And this really just took me aback. I mean, it's not the meanest thing you can say to someone. It's definitely offensive, but it's not the worst thing. It just kind of took me aback because I barely knew the kid, and yet he feels comfortable saying this. It just kind of struck me. I mean, growing up mixed race, I've experienced my fair share of racism, but not like that, not from a complete stranger. It just really took me aback. Later on, Sophie and I saw a tourist, and she was kind of struggling to take a picture in front of the Lincoln Memorial. So we asked her if she needed help, and one of the kids from Florida came up and went, ching chong, and then looked at me. And then I said, excuse me, what did you say? And he goes, oh, sorry, bro, I'm not from Cali. Side note, all the Southerners called California Cali, which already had me pissed off. But him saying ching chong to me and that woman made me even more mad. He basically responded in the same way that his classmate had, just quick and defensive, which kind of showed me that it's normal for them to say that sort of thing. They're just not used to getting called out for it. And the only reason that they're apologizing is because I'm there. And that's the thing that really bothered me the most about these microaggressive, stereotypical, and just racist comments, is that it was obviously very normal for them, which is just something that's very different from the Bay Area.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
We're with Robert and Kanoa, and basically there's a Supreme Court oral argument today. It's 5:37, and basically like there's only 64 spots to be able to watch the argument. So we're waiting it out here, roughing it, and it's really cold. It's like 25 degrees out, and I don't have my gloves on, and my hands are really, really cold. still standing in line. We're standing on the marble of the Supreme Court, and it's so cold. My feet are so cold.
Yeah.
Freezing. Unconstitutional to like actually have like American.
I'm Chris from Miami, Florida. I'm Alex from Miami, Florida as well.
Alright, so why do you guys support Trump?
First off, being a Republican, very supportive of him.
I like what he does for our country. He's USA first. He cuts a lot of taxes for us, for my families, to save money.
And his economic growth of the country and his lowest unemployment rate ever. And just putting money into the pockets of all Americans and keeping us safe by funding the military. And just by him being president, I feel safe. All facts.
Such a hard worker. He only gets 3 hours of sleep each night, and I work really hard to make good grades in school, so yeah.
Just by him saying America first, it makes me feel safe as an American that he takes care of America first, unlike past presidents like Obama.
So how do you respond to him having tax cuts for higher income Americans?
I'm in support of that. I believe that, yes, there are people that do inherit money from their fathers, but
Like him?
But people like us who came from immigrant families, our dads had nothing. Our fathers couldn't speak a word of English until they became teenagers, and what they've done now is pretty impressive. And I don't think it's fair for people like our dads to be taxed so high when they have worked for their money as Cuban Americans.
Like, they're hardworking people. They earn their money. They worked for their money. There's no reason for them to be taxed more than other people. If anything, they should be taxed less because they worked for their money. It's not up to them to give to the lower people money. They worked for the money. It's their money. They should keep it for a reason.
I understand some of it should go to the government, but they shouldn't be punished for working hard.
Okay, so this is the end of the close-up program, and towards the end I decided to interview some Trump supporters just because that was the biggest reason that I decided to come on the trip, to meet people that have different viewpoints from me, and I felt like I wasn't getting any constructive conversations through the close-up program, so I decided to hold my own. I mean, I asked the questions I was wondering, like why people support Trump, and I got answers. Did I agree with them? No. Were they kind of misinformed and one-sided to me? Yeah. They pissed me off, but I got the answers I was looking for. So I'm glad that I did that. But I actually found this paragraph that I had written after close-up and after those kids said those racist things to me. So I thought I would read it just because it kind of holds true and it really speaks to the experience that I had on the close-up program. This experience, those kids saying the racist things, really put a dent in the trip for me because at that point I realized that these kids weren't seeing me in the respectful way I saw them. You know, even though we're from different places and have different views, in the end they're people just like I am and therefore deserve respect. I came on this trip for one purpose, to listen to people different than me and to learn from them. It took this moment for me to realize that that understanding just wasn't shared. They saw me as more of a stereotype, a dog eating Chinese, a ching-chong exotic liberal who they shouldn't respect. And there's the inherent issue with our country. This is why we have such a big divide in it. If we can't see beyond differences and treat others with respect and listen to what they have to say, nothing's going to change. And that's something that I found I was prepared to do, and this trip showed me that not everyone is. I came on this trip with pretty liberal views. I identify as democratic socialist, so I'm pretty progressive on that scale. But I came on close-up hoping that my ideas would change. I wanted to be challenged. I wanted someone to change my mind. But instead I was met with racism and disrespect. If anything, the trip furthered my views. I feel like I'm more left-leaning than I was before. Like, I spent my time canvassing for Bernie Sanders and helping with his campaign after close-up because it got me fired up, which I guess is a good thing.